Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Jay, wanting to wish all my Muslim friends, and Muslim friends and close associates and family on Facebook and YouTube here a happy Ramadan, a Ramadan Mubarak slash Ramadan Kareem. Yesterday, the month of Ramadan, the holiest month in the Muslim calendar, the ninth month of the Muslim calendar, began yesterday. Now, to explain a little bit about the significance and the meaning of the month of Ramadan, it is the month in which Muslims fulfill one of the five pillars of Islam. According to Islam, there are five pillars in Islam: salat, prayer; zakat, charity or almsgiving; suwam, which is fasting; and hajj, which is the pilgrimage to the holy city of Mecca to perform seven circles around the Kaaba, which you can see depicted in the movie Malcolm X. Is what he does, performs the Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca. But this one is the Sawam, the fasting. It was during this month that Muslims believe that the Quran was revealed to Muhammad. The Quran, of course, the holiest book in the Muslim religion, and certain nights of Ramadan, especially the Laylat al-Qadr, the night of power, is when, according to the Muslim religion, it was, you know, it holds special significance. Muslims usually fast all day on daylight hours during this month, and they eat at night in a special feast called iftar. And before the fast begins, in the morning time, they eat what is called a suhar. It's like uh, a version of, they stack up on food in their bodies because they know that they're going to have to be fasting all these hours. And it's not just a fast from food or drink, it is a fast from impure thoughts, it is a fast from sex, it is a fast from cigarettes, and of course, alcohol, because Muslims are devout Muslims anyway, are supposed to abstain from alcohol anyway. But it's a fast to remind us that um, there are other people out there that are suffering, there are other people out there that are not as fortunate, and to always remind us to be grateful to God in the things that we have, and that is the importance of fasting. Fasting is not just a tradition in the Muslim religion, it is established, much like everything else in the Muslim religion, established by the two older religions that it's related to, Christianity and Judaism. Christianity, of course, has Lent, where Catholics do the same thing, fasting, and the Jewish religion has Yom Kippur, where they fast. The month ends in Eid al-Fitr, which is the holiest, one of the holiest Eids, or one of the two feast days in the Muslim religion. The other being Eid al-Adha, which commemorates the time that Abraham sacrificed his son um, Ishmael, according to Islam. But that story is also recorded in the Bible. It is in the Bible, it's recorded as a sacrifice of Isaac. But there are only two really main feast days in the Muslim tradition, the Muslim faith, and Eid al-Fitr is one of them. It's an official holiday in several countries, and I think over the past couple of years, it became an official holiday in New York City. Bill de Blasio passed it a couple of years ago. I remember it being discussed that Eid, the end of Ramadan, would be an official holiday um, in New York City because New York City has a tremendously large Muslim population. To discuss a little famous historical events that happened in past Ramadans. One that many people may not be aware of is an actual slave revolt. Of course, Islam first arrived in the shores of the Western Hemisphere with the slaves. Many slaves were taken from predominantly Muslim regions, especially the Senegal and Gambia region or parts of Sierra Leone. So they brought with them the Muslim faith. There were, keep in mind, many Muslim empires in West Africa. There was the Mali Empire. There was the Songhai Empire. Askia Muhammad, the most famous king of the Songhai Empire, Mansa Musa, the most famous king of the Mali Empire. So, when slavery comes on the scene, of course, in this region of Africa, West Africa, the west coast of Africa, there's many Muslims. So, slavery arrives with them. Of course, in a predominantly Christian society, they have to keep their religion under wraps. They have to keep um, their religion a secret. They have to engage in what is called takia. They have to hide their religion from the slave owners. There are several. There are several famous slaves that are in our history here in the United States. Omar ibn Said, um, Ayub bin Suleiman, or Job bin Solomon. You know, but the event that I want to talk about is the 1835 rebellion in Bahia, Brazil. Bahia, Brazil, of course, Brazil under the Portuguese domination at that time, and the Muslim slaves actually revolted. They were called the Malay because they were named after the Malay Empire. The other slaves that were from predominantly animistic backgrounds or were creolized to be Catholics, they identified them with the Malay Empire and they were called the Malay slaves. So these Malay slaves revolted against the Portuguese in 1835 in the region of Bahia, the northern part of Brazil. This was one of the largest slave uprisings in all of the Americas. So that is a famous historical event that happened on a particular Ramadan. Another famous historical event that happened in Ramadan, of course, the Ramadan Wars, or the wars of in the 1970s between Israel and predominantly Muslim countries. That caused one of the causes of the oil shortages here in the United States during that era. One of the things that Muslims do, one of the customs that Muslims do for Ramadan is they read a juz of the Quran, 1/3 of the Quran each night to, again, spiritually enrich themselves and reingratiate themselves to the holy tradition, the holy word of Islam. The date palm, which is the date fruit, is traditionally used to break the fast um, after iftar. It is traditionally used as the first thing, two dates in water, as part of the sunnah, the traditions of the Prophet Muhammad, um, of course, the Prophet of Islam. It is celebrated in different countries in different ways. In Jerusalem, usually starting in a tradition starting with the Fatimid Caliphate, usually hang lights. It's like really festive, really Christmas-esque. In the city of in Jerusalem, in Indonesia, which is the largest Muslim country in the entire world in Southeast Asia, they hang uh, lights. Not only do they hang lights, but they play the bangdang drum, which is a famous drum, and they have a bunch of festivals. It is really festive. I remember going to a lot of Eids You know, as a youngster, and seeing a lot of brothers and sisters decked out in their traditional garb, whether they be from Africa, whether they be from South Asia, whether they be from the Middle East, the Arab countries, or from here in the United States. You know, sects of Islam here in the United States, like Warthani Muhammad's sect of Islam or the Nation of Islam, for example. It is the biggest holiday on the Muslim calendar, and all sects of Islam, no matter what your sect of Islam, celebrates this month. The word Ramadan, the origin of the word Ramadan, it is believed to be one of the 99 holiest names uh, uh, in the Muslim religion, the Muslim faith. There is 99 names of God, Allah being one of them, and other 99 names. And Ramadan is thought by some Muslim scholars to be one of those names. That's why you often hear it as not Ramadan, but the month of Ramadan, being that this is the month of God, the month of rededication to the service of God. It really is a month that instills in people a lot of humility and reminds us to stay grounded and stay humble and never to be too proud. Because remember, the gist of the Muslim faith is submission to God's will. Anyway, to all my Muslim friends, Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem. Hope you enjoy it with your family and friends. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.